Hey guys, Vanity Ezel back on Card Fight Vanguard, Ezel and Vanity weekly videos. But guys, enjoyed or like, comment, subscribe, sorry. This time we're covering more Touken Ranbu cards. Okay, I really hope this is the only Touken Ranbu cards because I cannot do this anymore. The fact that we reach, I think, slide 46 now, we literally went through every single card that is also on this slide now, except for like the normal reveals things, which means we finally made it to Orpheus Regis, which hasn't happened since Orpheus Regis got released. But whatever, let's get this started, shall we? And I'm literally not gonna I'm just literally gonna read this goes and that's it. So Goto Toshido Celebration Outfit, Act Rearguard, Yeet it to Soul, choose a Kaban from your drop zone, put it to hand. Cool. Recycles that grade 0 10k shield draw trigger. Continues to rearguard a guard circle with Hocho Toshido Celebration Outfit. If your Vanguard's lower grade than your opponent's Vanguard, it also gets 5,000 power, 5,000 shield after 4 turns. Okay, really weird that it requires the opponent's Vanguard to be of higher grade than you, so when you hit grade 3, that skill's no longer usable to my knowledge, but cool. 13k power, 10k shield. Then we have Mosho Toshido Celebration Outfit. Why is your hair green? Auto input on guard circle. If your Vanguard is lower grade than your opponent's Vanguard, add 10,000 shield to the battle. Okay, again, why are they all lower grades? Is this like a typo thing, or is that actually what their skill is? Because it's very weird to me. Anyways, Maguro Kameto, grade 2 and stuff 5k shield, 10k base, act rear, auto rear guard, hang out once per turn. When this unit attacks a rear guard, if you have an Uchi Katana ability Kwami Crest, this unit gets 5,000 power for the battle. At the end of the battle, Soul Blast one standing. That is just solid. That's multi attack for a Soul Blast and a 15k bare minimum. So you know, I'll just 4-up for the Uchi Katana deck. We have Goke Kanemitsu Celebration Outfit. So auto drop zone when your unit with Hiromatsuri Ichinomi in this card name is placed on rearguard circle. CB1 call to rear another rearguard circle saying combat that unit, and this thing is boosting 5,000 power for the turn. So I mean, cool. It's a 15k booster for only a CB. So not a bad card to have. It's like a 2-0, especially for combo cards. Then we have Goke Kakemitsu, auto rearguard when it attacks a Vanguard. If your Vanguard's an Uchikawa, if you have an Uchikawa ability Kanami Crest, choose one of your units with a Hitsumoto Ichimomi in the card name. Both that unit and this unit get both get 5,000 power. Okay, again, not bad. It gives 2 units 5k and it's not attack ability that procs out for free, so take that as you will. Then we have Juzumoto Tenagetsu Celebration Outfit. That is a really cool looking art. Just like the hair looks so sleek with the suit too. Continuous, if you have a Taichi ability, Kwami Crest, this unit gets all the following. Auto discard from your deck during your turn, energy blast 3, put it to your hand, and auto put on guard circle, 10,000 shield. So put also counts intercept to my knowledge, so 15k shield is not bad, and then being able to cycle someone discard from deck. So I have like 2 or 3 of, honestly, depending on what deck that's supposed to go into. Then we have Yamabushi Kunihiro Celebration Outfit. For some reason, this reminds me of Zoro from One Piece. Continuous, if you have a Taichi ability, Kwami Crest, it gets all the following. Auto discard from deck, energy blast 3, it just bounces back to, or to call it a rearguard actually, and then auto puts on rearguard, so it gets 5,000 power for the turn. So it does the same thing as this one, but more offensive, to where it calls stuff to board and it's 15k. Though to be fair, this one's better because even though it doesn't get the power, it also gets the shield with it too. So take that as you will, and it goes to hand, so you don't have to call over something with it. So I mean, like, this one's good, but honestly, if you're gonna run one or the other, you run this one. Moving on, we have Nenikiri Celebration Outfit. Why this gives me Vault Dracula vibes, I have no idea. Auto rearguard when it attacks anything. If you have an Ochidaichi ability, Kwami Crest, so plus 1, give it 10,000 power for the turn. Cool. 23k swing. That's all I'm saying about that. Then we have Daihana Nagamitsu Celebration Outfit. Auto when placed on rearguard circle, counter plus 1, choose one opponent's rearguard saying combat, kill it. And if you have a Vanguard, if you have a unit with Hacho Nebutsu in the card name, this unit gets 5,000 power for the turn. So 50k swing that also merges an opponent's rearguard. Honestly, not a bad grade 2 to have in the deck, just for that. Then we have Haisho Nebatsu. Why is your hair blue? So we have random green hair, random blue hair. Grade 2 is a 5k shield tank. Basically, I'll say this though, he was my favorite one when the reveals were released, only because it helped me keep track of who I was putting into the sides when. Auto drop zone when your Vanguard is placed during the ride phase. If you have 8 or more cards in your drop zone and you now have a copy of this thing on board, essentially, or a rear guard with his name on board, you may call it to rear guard circle. If you do, soul charge 1. Okay, cool. It gets you a rear guard for one of the weirdest restrictions I've ever seen, being 8 or more cards in your drop zone, but okay. And it gets you a soul charge too. I mean, it's not bad as a free superior call that could technically deck you out, but I mean, you're going to run it anyway, so solid 2 over 3 of. And it works with any Vanguard too, so I mean, that's just a generic soul charger. Then we have, I thought I was going to card, Kyoku Masumune, grade 0 boost, 5k Shosis, skip base, arm point up a second draw card. I love the name Masumune. I remember nothing about this line. I think I like the grade 3 kind of. Then we have Kyoku Masumune Sento, auto and Rotopon by Kyoku Masamune, Toku, reveal a grade 3 card, Kyoku Makamune card name. I was going to call Masamune from now on. Put it for reveal Shook into your order zone, contains rear guard, and during your turn, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard Masamune in the card name, gets 5,000 power. Okay, I'm pretty sure all the other Sento ones only give 2k, so if I think she's a 13k, it's pretty solid, and again, she gets you a Forge token, which everyone gets you. Then we have Masumune Toku, auto when replaced by writing from Masumune Sento. Search out for 1 Edo Castle Infiltration Investigation reveal, put it to hand, shuffle your deck. I love how that can just pull the Edo Castle. I only specify that is because, like, I don't know, the Edo Castle just feels like a thing that I've heard before, and like one of my favorite games at Kazuma Level. I don't think it was Edo. I know I heard about it when I went to like Edo Land in Japan. Someone's gonna call me out if I'm saying it wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Edo because every time I talk to someone they said it was Edo, but whatever. Then we have Edo Castle Infiltration Investigation. Touken, grade 2, or am I getting Edo from Edo Phoenix from Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't know where I'm getting that from. Anyways, Touken Ranbu set order event. Oh god, here we go. Play if your Vanguard is a Masamune in the card name, your order zones will have a different event from this card. Continues if your Vanguard is a Masamune card, it gets all the following. Auto input into the order zone, perform either search deck for 1 unit card with Monoyoshi Sadamune in its card name, reveal pretty hand shuffle for the deck. Or, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose the 1 card that either has Nasen Ichimo Niji, Kogaru Samura, or Odaichi or Chiridori Jumonji Yari. It's card name reveal per to hand shuffle for your deck. I cannot wait until the morning where I have to try to pronounce Japanese names again. After order zone, put this card to your drop zone, choose one of your vanguards with Masamune in the card name. It gets 5 to the power for the turn. If you have a rear guard with Mono Sadamune in the card name, it also gets triple drive for the turn. Okay, so Mono Yoshi Sadamune is the most important card in the deck, clearly. So being able to give the vanguard triple drive for the easiest cost in the world seems pretty cool without a grade restriction, and also just giving someone 5k as well. So you know, solid order to have as a 4 of. Then we have Masamune Celebration outfit. 23 to 10%, 13k base. Auto Vanguard, which return when it attacks anything. CB1 choose over rear guard stand it. Cool, just a free stand for a simple CB, not going to argue it. And Auto Vanguard was returned when it attacks anything. Well, sorry, when it is attacked by something, by anything. Soul Blast 2 cards, Mouse Moon in their card names, and you, the player, get all of your opponent's variants to lose 10,000 power until the end of the turn. That is really good, because that is just, what's her name? Shiryuki. I think his name was Shiryuki. The weird girl from Nubatama, I want to say. No, it was Murakuma. The weird one from Murakuma that could minus your opponent's power. Like, pretty cool that just procs off when she's attacked, and you, the player, get that ability. So you're not just picking 3 farmer units of your opponents, playing something like Tamura, where it yeets the rear guards into soul and then calls it back out so they would lose that 10k minus. No, it stays because you're the player that's getting it. So that's actually an incredible grade 3. You know what? If I pick up a deck from Touken Ranbu, it's either going to be this or the first one, because that's honestly a very fun defensive ability. Then we have Monoyoshi Sadamune Celebration outfit. Okay, so this is the thing that gives you triple drive. Auto rear guard that it boosted a rear guard if it's the first battle of that turn, or your vanguard's also grade 3 or greater, and your order zone has an Edo Castle Infiltration Investigation in it. CB1's in all units and then combos it. So this deck can get 5 attacks in a turn because it gets this column, then it attacks again, then Masamune attacks and stands the same rear guard. Okay, so it gets 5 attacks in a turn, and I think we ran across the generic standard in one of the last few videos, so probably 6 attacks possibly, so pretty solid there. And then we have Kokomachi Celebration outfit, so great chance if I could shield 10k base. Auto rear guards per turn when this unit attacks a vanguard. If your vanguard's a grade 3 regarded with either Mikazuki Monochenki or Masamune in the card name, it gets 5,000 power on the turn. At the end of the turn, retire to draw a card. So cool, free 15k swing that also kills itself to draw. Then we have Nasen Imochi Celebration outfit. Auto rear guard when it attacks a grade 3 guard unit gets 5,000 power on the battle for each Edo Castle Infiltration Investigation you drop zone. Very surprised that we have not had more cards that proc off from the number of orders in your order zone / drop zone / wherever they went. So pretty cool there that it gets more power. And then auto rear guard once per turn when attack hits, if your order zone has a copy of the order in it, CB1 draw a card. Okay, cool. On hit pressure with a draw that you're most likely never going to use because it's going to go up to the restand skill, but still pretty solid, and it's an extra power every single time your order goes in the drop zone. So solid, honestly, grade 2. And I also love this white hair here, so you know, easy 4 for me. Then we have Yamabukuri Konihiro, grade 0 boost by Kashosuke base. I remember he was one of my favorites just because of, like, you know, his cloak over here, but his outfit just looks sleek with that. Auto road pop boost so I can draw a card. Then we have Yamabukuro Konihiro Sento, grade 1 boost by Kashosuke base. This is the perfect stance. Like, that honestly looks so cool, and it scared me how high quality that was, because a lot of these cards come from images that aren't normally high quality when I pull them from it, and this one was just really high quality for some reason. Anyways, auto and Rotopon by Yamabukuri Kunihiro Toku, and from now on I'm just going to call him Kunihiro. Really great 3 card Kunihiro in the card name, put a 4 stroke into your deck, or into your order zone, and then auto and Rotopon by Kunihiro Toku, counter +1 draw a card, and continues rear guard, gets 2,000 power for the turn. So cool, 10k base once you're at, once it's on rear guard circle, gets you a free draw and Rotopon by playing a CB, and it gets you a token just by, you know, being wrote upon, so not bad. Or by being placed. Then we have Kunihiro Toku, great chance FIK shield, 10k base. Auto and placed by writing from Sento, search your deck for 1 special investigation, Juro Kute, reveal per to hand shuffle your deck, and auto wrote upon by the grade 3. Does your hand card, search for 1 copy of said grade 3, reveal put to hand shuffle your deck, and change rear guard during turn, gets 2,000 power. I forgot this was the line that focused on Persona Rise, because back in early D, Persona Rise were kind of a thing where like half of the grade 3s have Persona Rise based skills, ahem Magnolia. Moving on, we have Special Investigation, Jurikete, grade 2, set orders, event, F7 point to order zone. Play your Vanguard is Kunihiro, or if your end order zone has an event that isn't a different name from this. Continuous, if your Vanguard is a Kunihiro, it gets all the following. Auto input into order zone, so if you have 1 unit card with Yamabukuri Chogi in this card, and reveal per to hand shuffle your deck. And if your order zone has 3 or more copies of this in it, countercharge 1. So solid from once you get from the 3rd one and onward, so the 3rd and 4th one, you get a countercharge with it. And then auto order zone at the start of your battle phase. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater, rest it to choose member units with Yamabukuri a Chogi in its Karna, it gets 5,000 power. Okay, cool, it gets 5,000 power, but more importantly, it gets you a counter charge and it gets you a deck search by seeing you put into Order Zone. So if they do have cards that freely put stuff into Order Zone, like things like Orpheus Regis, there you go, proc off the ability. Moving on, we have Yamagati Kunihiro Celebration Outfit, grade 2 10%, 30k base, act Vanguard, once per turn, counter +1, draw a card, and this unit gets auto Vanguard, start your battle phase, choose one of your units with the Chogi in the card name, and it gets auto Rearguard. When this unit's power increases by the of your card ability, increase your Vanguard's power by the same power as that unit's power increase to end of turn. So if you increase your units by 10,000 power, then the Vanguard also gets the 10th power increase to end of turn. And then auto Vanguard, Shiken Hyatsu, aka if you have 3 or more damage, at the start of the battle phase, it gets a critical. Cool. Double crit pressure gives you Rearguard, same powers that he does, and he also gives you a draw as well. So, you know, honestly, not bad. Good grade 3. And we have Koetsu Samonji, continues Rearguard a guard circle. If your Vanguard's a Kunihiro, it gets 5,000 shield. And if your Vanguard's a grade 3 guard as well, it gets a boost. And auto Rearguard, when it boosts, if your Vanguard is a Kunihiro, it gets 5,000 power until end of turn. Cool. So it's a 10k shield before you even get to grade 3, but once you get to grade 3, it's also a booster and a 15k booster at that. Very solid grade to have. I wish getting stuff in back row, but it is what it is. Then we have Chogi Celebration Outfit. So grade 10 of that shield 10k base. His outfit looks so slick here, especially like this little puff right here. It just looks so cool. Auto when placed on Rearguard circle, if your Vanguard is Bugatti, counter +1, perform with the following. Either draw a card, and this unit gets auto Rearguard when it attacks a grade 3 graded Vanguard. If the first battle of that turn, it also performs draft check for that battle, so solid there. And then auto Rearguard once per turn when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with the card in its card name attacks. Your unit was stand by a card ability this turn, energy blast 3 stand it. So it can either multi-attack or it can get you draft checks, which is pretty solid that it can do whichever one you need in the moment. So if you're about to deck out, don't need to use the draft check skill. But if you want to get the extra multi-attack, you can use the stand skill, or if you just want the extra hand cards draft check skill. So it really just depends on what your situation. That's also pretty cool that it can do that. And then we have Nico Imochi, so grade 2 stuff 5k shield, 10k base. It continues Rearguard circle. This unit cannot be chosen or retired by your opponent's card effects, but it can still, you know, be mass selected by things like Babsaga, for example. Though Babsaga wouldn't retire it, obviously, but you get my point. And then auto Rearguard when your unit with the Yamagard is kind of attacks, it gets 5,000 power for the turn, so cool there. And then we also have Doyo Ichimonji. So this is the card I like the most because A, his hair, but also he has the most generic skill I've ever seen, which I know someone can abuse, or bare minimum, if this was in Stoic K, it would be abusable. Great chance of 5k shield, 10k base, auto Rearguard when placed on Rearguard circle by any means, from anywhere, at any point during either player's turn. You may draw 2 cards. If you did, choose 2 cards from your hand, discard them. Why I specify this? If you found a way to keep looping him back from drop zone, you could technically just filter out your deck with 2 draws every single turn. It's not a bad grade 2. It's not amazing grade 2 by any standards of the imagination, but it's still a very solid card to help filter, and it also helps with the drop zone. And again, Stoic K would abuse the hell out of this if they had access to it, so take it as you will. Moving on, we have Taike Notome. Great chances of 5k shield, 10k base. The girl version of one of the 2 training guys from Black and White continues Rearguard a guard circle. If you have an Ukaji Kani ability Kwame Crest, this unit gets boost. Then if you have a unit with Sushishi Masahide in its card, and this unit gets an intercept from back row, and it gets 5,000 shield. So cool. 10k shield and a booster. Well, there's the card I was talking about earlier, so this grade 2, you have no need to run it anymore, so take that as you will. Moving on, we have Nagasune Celebration Alpha. Great chances of 5k shield, 10k base. Auto Rearguard when it's boosted. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 guard, it gets 5,000 power for the battle. Then if it was boosted by a Waikizashi unit, energy box 3 gets 10,000 instead of 5k. So bare minimum, it's going to be like a 23k swing, or technically a 20k swing is boosted by a trigger. But if it was boosted by a Wakashi unit, it gets an additional 10k on top of that, so pretty solid. Then we have Heshikiri Hasebe, great chance of 5k shield, 10k base. The auto Rearguard when the ability of when you're listening to attacks of Vanguard, if you have a Uchikatani ability Kwame Crest, the unit gets 5,000 power for the turn, and if your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3, gets 10,000 instead. So again, cool for numbers. Neither of them technically require the same stuff, so I mean you could run them both in the same deck if possible, but I mean I wouldn't put it past it. Like run one or the other if you're gonna run either. Then we have Fudo Yukumitsu, who is clearly drunk or blustering because of their face. Auto when put on guard circle, so +1 choose on rear guards to end of battle. If that unit is hit, it does not retire. So solid. It doesn't prevent your opponent's on hit abilities from going off because, as I just said, if the unit is hit, it does not retire, so it just stays on the board. But the attack is still considered hitting, so on hit abilities, things like Vermilion, for example, would still apply. But on the bright side, it does protect your rear guard with like a perfect guard. So if your opponent's playing like Vezerug and they're trying to like Wolf Sand Watsu your rear out, well, you can use Fudo there to stop it. Then we have Kiko Sanamine Celebration Outfit, great chance to 5k shield, 10k base. For some reason, reminded me of Maiden Mako from Blade X. I don't know why. This episode, I'm getting like a lot of references to stuff. Act rear guard if you have an Uchikatani ability Kwame Crest. What does that card do? I keep saying it, and I want to know what it does because I genuinely don't remember. Rest it, choose one of your units. It gets auto rear guard when this unit attacks until end of turn. This unit goes 5,000 power, and your opponent cannot intercept till end of turn, and this unit cannot stand during your next stand phase. So it's giving itself the ability not to stand during the next stand phase, so you can't repel the ability. Okay, I was going to say before this card is good, but I wouldn't put it past a 2 over 3 of. Actually, I wouldn't put. I have 2 of us still generous for that, honestly. Then we have Doyo Ichimachi, the regular version. So while the other one was draw 2, ditch 2, this one is auto and place on rear guard circle. Again, by any means from anywhere during any player's turn. Look at the top 3 cards of the deck. Choose up to 1 event card from other put here and shuffle your deck. Alright, cool. It can fetch event cards. It's a random top 3 search. It's free. It's good because it doesn't involve discarding. But I honestly believe that you should just play this one instead because it just gets you more cards into your hand. And this one can whiff. The other one technically can't. Then we have Ishina Masamune, great chance of Akishio, 10k base. Auto rear guard when it attacks. If your Vanguard does great 3 good and Masamune in the card, gets 5,000 power for the turn. Then auto rear guard the attack. If your Vanguard is a great 3 good and Masamune and this unit attack 2 or more times this turn, you eat the soul, draw a card. Cool. So basically, it's Masamune's own inlet pulse. It gets you extra power. It eats itself the soul. It gets you a draw. And the only requirement to any of that is it just has to be attacking with the rear stand. And the best part is that 5k times for the turn, meaning it will double up when you actually do the restand with Ishida. And technically, you could do it 3 times because this one grade 1 exists if I could go find it. So honestly, it's a very solid card to have in the deck. Good for Masamune. And now I have to go find that grade 1 again, or that grade 2. There it is. Then we have Ishida Masamune, great chance of 5k shield, 10k base. Auto rear guard when attacks. If you have a Vanguard Masamune in the card name to end the battle, your opponent cannot intercept or play blitz orders. So that's a turn where you're trying to go for lethal, where you know your opponent's main defensive comes from blitz orders or intercepting. For example, Neb is involved for Impuldio. Shutting down Ishida. Then we have Kuki Masamune, great 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto rear guard, and then a boost to the Masamune unit, eat it to soul counter charge 1. That is incredible. That gets you a soul and a counter charge for only requiring to boost a Masamune, of which we already have rear guards for. So 4 of, and it's the celebration outfit, and that's a card to celebrate. I specify that because the very next card is regular Kuki Masamune. Okay, I'm starting to see the art theme of these cards, and honestly, like I said, this is a deck I would honestly pick up if I cared. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto rear guard once per turn. When this unit boosts, if your Vanguard Masamune in the card name, it gets 5,000 power for the turn. Then you may soul charge 1. So it's a 13k booster. It's a Masamune card, so it helps benefit the rest of the line over here. But also, it's a free soul charge to where if you want to soul charge because you know her main skill costs 2 soul blasts to help you defend you, you can. And if you don't want to because you're afraid of decking out or not seeing a trigger in your draft check, no need. Then we have Yagin Toshiro, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto place on rear guard circle, energy blast 3. Choose either a card with Toshiro or Gokai in its card name from a drop zone, call it to rear guard circle, and contains rear guard to guard circle. If you're either a Vanguard with Ichigo Hujiforo in the card name, or you have a Taito ability Kwami Crest, it gets intercept, 2k power, and 5k shield, active most turns. So it can recall rear guards and is a 10k booster with a 10k intercept as well. Pretty solid grade 1 there. Can't say more than that. Then we have Hinono Toshiro Celebration Outfit, grade 1 boost, like I showed, like base, continues guard circle, opponent's Vanguard to get 3 guard, 5,000 to shield. Then if you either have a Ichigo Hitori in the card name or Taito ability Kwami Crest, at 10,000 to the shield instead of 5,000. So 10 to 15k shield, not a bad grade 1, but I don't think the deck needs to be that defensive. But if you need space for it, or if you have budget and this is a cheaper option than one of your other better cards, cool 4 of. Then we have Medea Toshiro Celebration Outfit, grade 1 boost, back to Shirake base. Change rear guard circle. If you have a Vanguard that's grade 3 or greater, all of your rear guards with Toshiro or Gokai in the card name get intercept and continues rear guard circle. If either your Vanguard has Ichigo Futari in the card name or you have a Taito ability Kwami Crest, this unit can first from back row. So this card gives every single unit that is one of those 2 skills the ability to just intercept inherently and possibly intercept from back row as well. This is an incredible grade 1, solid 3 of. Then we have Togama Gatu Nagitani Celebration Outfit. I cannot wait until the morning just to get this over with. Grade 3 10% 30k base. Continues if you have a Nagatami ability Kwami Crest, it gets all the following. Auto and discard from your deck and during your turn. Your opponent cannot intercept to end of turn. That is okay. And then energy blast 3, either call this card to rear guard circle, put it to hand, so it recycles itself. And then auto when placed on rear guard circle, CB1 draw a card, and this unit gets auto front or rear guard circle specifically. When your Vanguard attacks, choose one of your other front or rear guards, and that in this unit both get 5,000 power for the turn. And if you have a rear guard with Shikuzetsu Gakuto Nagatada in this card name in the front row, this unit it gets 10,000 power instead of 5,000. So cool. Gets free hand cards, gets numbers to 2 different units, can superior call itself or add itself back to hand, and just straight up shut down intercept by being milled. Not a bad grade 3. And thankfully, the last card before we go on to the morning, Shizukagata Nanginata Celebration Outfit. I am so glad I don't have to say that again. Grade 2 10% 30k base. Continues if you have a Naginata ability Kwami Crest, gets all the following. Auto with ditch from deck during your turn. Again, your opponent cannot intercept time to turn. Energy blast either call to rear guard circle, put it to hand. And all placed on rear guard circle, choose one of your opponent's back row rear guards, move to an open front row rear guard circle on your opponent's field, and this gets 5,000 power for the turn. But if you have a rear guard that is essentially this, you get to choose 2 units set of 1. So it moves your opponent's front row units to the, or back row units to the front row, so I guess it makes them more killable. Don't know what that does for the deck. That's specifically a Nagi Nata ability Kwame Crest deck, because I don't think they evolve retiring, but if they do, there you go. And on to our last reveals for the day. Thank God I completely forgot it was Leonorn and Chris Rain getting revealed today, and not more Touken Ranbu cards. I know we're getting more Touken Ranbu cards later in the week, but I will take the break from the review just for one day. We have Racing Wind Corfi, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base, honor Robon for second draw card, so stands start, nothing about it. Then we have Budding Sensation Gracia, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, honor placed by writing from Racing Wind Corfi, reveal a Bandmaster of Blossoming Dreams, Leonor and Tremont from the right deck to recall plant token to rearguard circle. That contains rearguard during the battle boost. If your Vanguard's in use straight, it gets 5,000 power. Okay, I do love how they upgraded the Leonor and ride line. I understand why they make it a plant token call, because I mean that's pretty solid. It gets it the second you ride, meaning you can either boost with it or you can attack with it immediately. My issue with it is that's still like a solid 13k boosting skill, to the point where I feel like getting the plant token is more of a downgrade, and the only reason you keep this in souls for soul blast reasons, but Tremon doesn't cost souls, so yeah. Then we have Hopeful Tune Rectina, grade 2 and sub 5k shield, 10k base. I do love the artwork, by the way, if that wasn't clear. Auto and wrote upon by any grade 3 card Leonor in the card name. Choose one of your Vanguards and reduce the original CB cost of that unit by 1 till end of the turn. So whether you're on OG Leonor for some reason going straight into a Veche or using Tremond, you can end up making the cost free for at least a CB related skill. And then contains Rearguard Circle. If your Vanguard is in the unison dress state, it gets boosted and intercept from back row now. So this is actually a very solid upgrade over the old Rectina, because the old Rectina only gained boost. This one now has the ability to intercept from back row. Doesn't mean that this card is worth running in the main deck, but if you have to run it for budget reasons, there you go. And then we have just a very solid grade 3 who I understand why it's like this. I'm just disappointed that it's like this, because I just expected more from how it got Unison Dress state. Bandmaster of Blossoming Dreams, Leonor and Tremon. The Unison Dress contains Vanguard. It's always in the Unison Dress state. Well, that's the only part I'm disappointed about. Like, I get it. It's a good skill. I'm just disappointed because I thought it was going to be, like, more work to get into the Unison Dress state, but not, like, too hard. I thought it was going to be Viveche, but easier. Then it contains Vanguard. All your rear goes with Leonor and their card names get boost in -2 grade. That is amazing, because if you ever have to just, like, try to rush your opponent with grade 3s, because maybe you just bricked, because it is a possibility, you can now call those grade 3s to rear guards, and they'll at least be 13k boosters. And then Auto Vanguard, once per turn, when this unit attacks while not boosted, stand all of your backward units with boost and boost this unit with them. And if you boost it with 3 more units at the same time, counter +1 Energy Blast 2, or the turn you rode from Rectina, just Energy Blast 2, it gets +1 drive for the turn, not triple drive specifically, so it does bypass the Elementary Sanctitude and perform one of the following at the end of the battle. Either choose 2 backward rear guards and stand them, or if your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, choose one of your rear guards, stand that unit and this unit until end of turn. Both get 10,000 power and you lose 3 drives, and you can put a Leonor card from your hand into your or rear guard into your soul, and it gets the +1 drive. So it pretty much has the ability to possibly get you quad drive, get you either multi attack or just continuous boosting. I love how it's a combination a little bit of a Veche, but also just Leonor in general. It can initiate multi attack / straight up just really good numbers overall, and it does it for an incredibly cheap cost. And honestly, this is an amazing grade 3, and it can again turn all the Leonor cards into grade 1s to support her essentially. Then we have Artful Display of United Hearts Molomore, grade 2 set 5k shield, 10k base, auto place on rearguard circle, choose up to 1 card of the Unison Dress state ability from your hand, reveal it. If you revealed a card or your Vanguard is in the Unison Dress state currently, counter +1 to draw a card, and soul +1 call plant token rearguard circle. Okay, again, I get the whole plant token thing, especially because a lot of like Leonor players play generic plant token makers to make rearguards, but why are like Leonor specific support cards getting the plant token? I just feel like it's weird, because their whole point of the support cards is normally they get like 5k and maybe extra shield too, to like warrant you having stronger rear guard, especially if your opponent board nukes you. I get the plant tokens make it easier to make a board, but then auto rear guard when it attacks anything, your Vanguard's units are just straight, and your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater. Choose over backward rear guards and increase this unit's power by that unit's power to end a battle. That's an amazing ability, because you can just make really strong rear guards in the back row, which you can always give your triggers to, because they're going to reset anyway, so they carry on for Vanguard attack and the rear guard attack. And then this card gets the extra power from it as well. All around Molomore, very solid grade 2, 3 over 4 of. And then we have our Chris Rain support cards, Emphatic Lime Armilla, grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base, auto and plus on rearguard circle. You may soul charge 1, just a free soul charge regardless if you're playing Chris Rain or not. It's not a mandatory one, so if you're afraid to deck out, you don't have to soul charge. And then if your Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater Chris Rain, you choose one of your units, including herself. She'll get 5,000 power for the turn, or again, you can just give it to Vanguard because it benefits from the Divine skill. Then by counter bossing 1, draw a card, and she'll get 5k as well. So technically speaking, you can just give her a total +10 and draw, but again, typically you're going to get 5k to Chris Rain just so it benefits
missed the divine skill. Then I'll act Rearguard once per turn. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 Rearguard Chris Rain and you've played in order this turn, Energy Blast 3, choose a grade 1 card without Sentinel from the drop zone, and you don't have a Rearguard as incarnate as that card, call it the Rearguard Circle. Cool. You get 3 for energy every turn. Chris Rain literally gives you an extra 3, so you can use 3 of that energy to superior call grade 1s back from the drop zone, which means you have more targets to pull off Chris Rain's Energy Charge 3 skill, and more importantly, you have more Rearguards to bully your opponent down with. Unfortunately, it doesn't call PG because Chris Rain now has the ability to bounce stuff from Rearguard Circle to hand at the end of the turn, and also this Divine skill exists, but still a very solid grade 2 to have in the deck. A solid like 3 of, honestly. Then we have our last card of the day, Faded One of Ever-Changing Chris Rain Cadenza, grade 2 to have response for DK base, act Vanguard once per turn, CB1, choose any number of units and perform one of the following. If you chose 4 or more, however, and all the chosen units have different cards, perform 2 of the following instead of 1, but if you chose 5 more units, including herself, all of the chosen units have different card names, perform all the following instead of 1. So the first 3 are the same as OG Chris Rain, draw a card, energy charge 3, choose a unit, give 15k for the turn, and then this unit gets a crit for the turn. Oh, and then the last ability, choose one of your rear guards, and it gets auto rear guard at the end of your turn. You may return this unit to your hand until the end of the turn. So cool. It's not a mandatory return to hand, so at the end of the turn, if you feel like it's better to keep that rear guard on board because maybe it has an intercept skill or something like that, you can keep it on board. But if you want to bounce it back to your hand as PG fodder or just keeping it safe, you can do that as well. And then finally, the Divine skill, Auto Vanguard, if that attacked a grade 3 graded unit, Soul Blast 1. So it turned from free to specifically costing a Soul Blast, but that's fine because Chris Rain has multiple ways to get extra soul now. Choose any number of your rear guards, return them to the hand. Choose up to 1 unit card from your hand, call it to rear guard circle, and until end of turn, increase or decrease that unit's power and critical to match this unit. So it's almost the exact same verbatim as OG Divine skill, except the OG Divine skill returned every rear guard to hand, so prevented you from doing more multi-attack without getting lucky off of things like Anna's, Melty, etc., like having cards that already pre-called units. Now you can just choose to bounce 1 unit, superior call that unit, give it power and critical, but still have a whole other column to use. Our Cadenza, very solid grade 3. It doesn't screw over your board via its own Divine skill. It still has that same offensive pressure that the old Divine skill has. Not to mention the fact that it maintains pretty much Chris Rain's old skill, but it also has a new balanced defensive skill, so honestly it's a very solid grade 3. I don't think this makes Chris Rain random, but it's definitely a really good attempt to try it. So without further ado, I'm going to this one here. Hope all of you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us for such, and next week we will see new Seraph Snow.